MPs in the UK want Brexit to be delayed. They voted on it last night. Now, this means the UK may not leave the EU on the 29th of March as previously planned, but Britain could face some hurdles over this. Our UK correspondent Olly Barratt joins us from London to make sense of all of this. Olly, a very good morning to you. So I'm a bit confused. So what does this mean? Because the MPs want Brexit to be delayed. They voted on it last night. So what happens now?
It's very, very confusing. Let me just put this in a bit of context for you with regards to Theresa May, the British Prime Minister. Thursday was a much better day for Theresa May than Wednesday. She didn't face any huge defeats in the House of Commons. She avoided a couple of very difficult amendments that went through the House of Commons that would have made life very tricky for her indeed. That made her life much easier with regards to keeping control of the Brexit process for now, at least. The main government motion of the day, she won. Her government won. She received the backing of MPs pretty overwhelmingly. The strange thing, though, is that that motion was to delay Brexit, which is something Theresa May has been saying she would not do for 2 years. Over and over again, Theresa May has said, we will leave the European Union on the 29th of March. We will leave the European Union on the 29th of March as planned. On Thursday, a motion from her government admitted that would not be possible and there would need to be a delay, and she won that vote. But a very strange position for her to be in also, because she won it with the backing mainly of opposition Labour MPs. Dozens of her own Conservative MPs didn't vote with her. So it's a victory that goes against the policy she has pursued for 2 years, and it's a victory she achieved without the backing of her own Conservative MPs, or many of them anyway. Now, the reason she's done this is that she feels that either way, Britain is going to need a delay to leaving the European Union because it hasn't yet reached a deal. Her deal has been rejected twice by MPs, and so therefore the default position is that Britain would crash out of the European Union without a deal on the 29th of March. So now she has that breathing space to pursue a short delay if she can get her deal through Parliament, and she'll try again next week, or a longer delay if she can't. So there are two types of delay that Theresa May is saying are possible here. A shorter one, which she wants, and a longer one, which she says she doesn't want. But as we've seen, what Theresa May says she doesn't want sometimes comes true.
OK, well, what would she need to be doing in this time, Olly? Because it's not just up to what Theresa May and her MPs want to happen here, because, I mean, my understanding is that if there's a delay, it has to be agreed to also by EU member states.
That's quite right. Unanimously so. It has to be agreed by European Union member states. So they now have the power in this particular conversation. The EU has been pretty clear all along that if Britain were to request a delay, it would consider it positively if there was a plan, if there was a reason for that delay, and a clear piece of thinking from the United Kingdom about exactly what was going to be achieved in the delay period. So in Theresa May's first scenario, which is she gets a deal, her deal, agreed by parliamentarians next week, then goes to the European Union to ask for a short delay just to get things done and dusted, cross the I's, dot the T's, or the other way around, then we understand that the European Union would look at that favourably. It's not necessarily a given that they agree, but they would look at it favourably. The longer delay is perhaps a slightly different matter. Again, the European Union have said that they would consider that if Britain wanted to rethink its entire Brexit strategy. Some European Union member states will be livid about the idea of Britain extending for a long period without really knowing what is coming next or what its Brexit strategy is going to be. So it's very possible indeed that the EU could reject these requests for delays, and that would mean that no deal becomes again the default scenario for the 29th of March.
So again, Olly, this has raised the question of, would it be wise for a further referendum? Would a public vote be an option? And we already see Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn again banging on about that point, saying that maybe, you know, after also earlier saying that his MP should not vote for one, but now saying, if I understand this correctly, that this might be the only other option.
Well, Jeremy Corbyn's position on this is very difficult to understand, and I say that with many MPs in his own party saying that as well about their leader. The official Labour policy at the moment is to pursue a second Brexit referendum, but only when the time is considered to be right, only as a last option, and we have not got to that point yet. And so what we also saw on Thursday was an amendment put forward by one MP which said that there should be a short delay to the Brexit process so that there could be a second Brexit referendum. Labour did not take part in that vote. The Labour Party MPs were told by their leadership, Jeremy Corbyn and others, not to vote for a second referendum. So we, again, have this strange position where Labour's official policy is to pursue a second referendum, but when the opportunity came to vote for one, they decided not to because they didn't think they were going to win that vote. There isn't at the moment a majority in the House of Commons for a second referendum. So although, as I say, it is official Labour policy that there should be one in the future, we're not at that point yet.
Okay, well, all very confusing. Good luck to you and your neighbours and friends and relatives and all of that, Olly Barratt. If you need a place to stay, I'm sure we can find one for you here while they figure this out. Thank you very much. That's Olly Barratt. Just the latest on the entire Brexit saga. Very, very confusing indeed.